I don't know if I should be shocked, but I woke up today hearing the news that the head of ICICI Bank, Chanda Kochar, has been fired because of her involvement in the recent issue where it was believed that her husband and her were in charge, or rather were involved in giving a big amount of loan to Videocon Group way back in 2012. Now, here is some history in what happened exactly with the whole Chanda Kochar and her family being responsible for giving a loan to Videocon Group. So, in 2012, it was believed that the Videocon Group, which isn't doing very well, received a big amount of loan to an extent of about 3,500 crores from ICICI Bank. Now, the committee that was responsible for giving out this loan was headed by Chanda Kochar, who happened to be the CEO of ICICI Bank. And Deepak Kochar was involved, although Deepak Kochar has got no association with ICICI Bank. He was involved in the transfer of funds between ICICI Bank and Videocon Group. Videocon Group isn't doing very well. In fact, they even sold their DTH business to Z Group or SL Group in order to get some amount of cash to keep that business going. Now, as soon as this information was brought into light in 2018, that is sometime around March 2018, this was brought into light, and ICICI Bank did the very smart thing of having Chanda Kochar step down, and they replaced her with the CEO of ICICI Prudential back then by name Sandeep Bakshi. Now, ICICI did this in a very fair manner. That is something that I have to give them points for, because rarely do you see that any organization is willing to have their CEO move aside so that there is a fair investigation happen. So, as of yesterday, the committee that was responsible for the investigation, the probe, that was headed by the Chief Supreme Court Judge, Mr. Justice Sri Krishna. Justice Sri Krishna committee was tasked to probe the quid pro quo transactions between ICICI Bank and the Videocon Group. Now, the inquiry report also concluded that she has failed to discharge her fiduciary functions to recuse herself, that is, withdraw herself, to avoid any conflict of interest when the transaction between ICICI Bank and Videocon Group came into existence. Now, what the report is trying to say is, when the transaction happened between ICICI Bank and the Videocon Group, the committee that was responsible for the discharge of 3,500 crores, she should have withdrawn herself from that committee because she saw that, okay, her husband is part of this Videocon Group. So therefore, her being involved in this transaction is definitely a big conflict of interest, because you will see some kind of bias, because of course it's a husband and wife situation. Now, Chanda Kochar was on the bank credit committee that sanctioned 3,250 crore loan to Videocon Group in 2012. Videocon Group promoter Venugopal Dhut was one of the first investors in NU Power Renewables, promoted by Deepak Kochar, that is Chanda Kochar's husband. This essentially means, now ICICI Bank has seen this report and they see that, okay, she was in fact involved in the transaction, although when the situation was brought into light, Chanda Kochar said that she did not do anything wrong. Clearly, the report says that this is definitely a conflict of interest. This essentially means revocation of all the existing and future entitlements of any unpaid amounts, unpaid bonuses, increments, the vested and unexercised stock options, and many medical benefits all require the clawback of all the bonuses paid from April 2009 to March 2018. This is something that I found very shocking about the whole report. That is, ICICI Bank has taken this extremely seriously. Now, Chanda Kochar has done an extremely good job in improving ICICI Bank's operations after the departure of KV Kamath. Now, KV Kamath is this guy who made ICICI Bank what we see today. Chanda Kochar took it forward and kept the bank stable in the most difficult of times. In fact, even today, ICICI Bank, and it's been a long time since I had an account with them, I can still tell you that ICICI Bank has got one of the best banking facilities that I've ever come across. They are truly one of the best banks that I've ever had the pleasure of transacting with. This is something which I found really sad. That is, from April 2009 to March 2018, whatever bonuses that she had in fact received, Chanda Kochar is required to pay that back to ICICI Bank. Now, folks, this is going to run into several crore rupees. So this is a huge, huge penalty that Chanda Kochar has to go about paying for what happened in 2012. Although remember, this happened in 2012, but the loan was actually given out. ICICI Bank has been very strict about this. The board has been very strict about this, and they're saying that whatever, in fact, that you have made from 2009 to 2018, that's nearly 10 years worth of all this money that you have, in fact, made. You need to, in fact, pay that back to ICICI Bank. So maybe there might be something more to this. Maybe Chanda Kochar might be able to fight this and maybe get away with paying away the bonuses. But in case ICICI Bank is very stern, she will in fact have to pay a huge penalty to ICICI Bank. And by penalty, I mean that she needs to pay back all the bonuses that she's made for nearly 10 years. So anyway, folks, this is the story of a quick summary of what happened between ICICI Bank and Videocon Group and the Justice Sri Krishna investigation into the whole matter. So anyway, folks, thank you for listening. Do like, share, and subscribe. And as always, have a nice day. See you guys. And thank you for watching Professor Vipin. Bye.